And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2 of the 2017 Jared Cook Classic here on SUV TV. Starting lineups being introduced here as we will tip off this Monday lineup with a South Paulding versus Lambert matchup. Starters on both sides. South Paulding, number 1, Cameron Armstrong. Number 2, Gaddafi Withers. Number 3, Frank Gibson. Number 5, Chandler Travis. And number 23, Knowledge Rubin. On the Lambert side of things, Jordan McElwain, number 1, Damon Stoudemire, number 2, number 11, Austin Deckard, number 32, Colin Granger, and number 33, Mitch Ganote. Those are your starters. On the Lambert Longhorn side of things, head coach Scott Bracco, 7th year there at Lambert. On the South Paulding side of things, head coach Gil Davis. As always, thanks for joining us here on SUV TV for another year of Jared Cook Classic coverage. We've got one day out of the way. Good news, 2 more days left, and we'll start this one off with South Paulding versus Lambert. It's Stoudemire that'll have it first, getting it to McElwain. Back to Stoudemire. 3-pointer on the way, gets the bounce. That rim has been kind to a few players here this week, even those that aren't North Gwinnett players. And Stoudemire gets the home bounce and makes it a 3-0 ball game in favor of Lambert early on. A steal, that's Mitch Ganote. Ganote drops the pass off, and a layup drill there on the other end, number 11, Austin Deckard. So a speedy start there for Ganote as he gets the steal. He's also a lacrosse player. A lot of times that sport referred to as a very basketball-style sport, but on grass in terms of the way it moves up and down. Ganote getting in nicely. South Paulding gets on the board, makes it 5-2. 3-pointer, tickling the try line. Nothing but net there is Austin Deckard. He's got 5 points here early on. Now 8-2. So 2 triples early on in this one for Lambert. 1 Stoudemire, 1 Deckard. 6-point advantage. Mid-range jumper by the lefty is no good, but South Paulding will get another opportunity. Trying to get their first 3-point make of the day. That one short, off the mark there by Gaddafi Withers. Bringing it up will be Ganote. Ganote, junior guard. Much bigger role this year. Came off the bench last year, but the Lambert coaching staff expecting big things out of him when it comes to his role. Why not get in on the 3-party? Jordan McElwain decides to join. And we have a whistle. Just saw Stoudemire toss something over to the side. A timeout. Coach Gil Davis wants to talk it over. Raining threes earlier for Lambert here at the Jared Cook Classic. We'll step away and be back with more JCC action here on SUV TV.
I just love being a leader.
Because I like to punish people.
I think the big thing is just taking the right shot.
Just to embarrass people.
I'm a beast.
Do my thing whenever I'm putting on someone's neck.
My thoughts will be the best in 4 years.
And welcome back here to the Jared Cook Classic. It's an 11-2 ball game in favor of the Lambert Longhorns, who are shooting the long ball well. McElwain has 1, Deckard has 1, Stoudemire has 1. 3 triples here early on. Prompted a Gil Davis timeout. Let's see how South Paulding responds out of the break. Big fella, too strong on the layup, but gets another crack at it and cannot get that one to go. Withers trying to go coast to coast. Mission accomplished. Gaddafi Withers. The senior makes it 11-4. Here's McElwain coming back the other way. Kicks it out to Deckard, trying to get his second three-pointer. Splash. Austin Deckard. He'll just take the points, but hey, a couple style points on top of the box score additions won't hurt, as he hasn't touched the rim yet, other than that layup. 14-4, 10-point advantage. Here's McElwain coming the other way, 3-on-2 break. Stoudemire wants it in the corner. Instead, McElwain wheeling, dealing, and making it 16-4 in the process. So to be Captain Obvious, Lambert definitely off to a quicker start offensively. Here early on, it was sparked by a Stoudemire three out of the corner. Since then, McElwain and Deckard have joined on in, and it's now 16-4. South Paulding still trying to get loose and get things going as our officials for this evening, or this afternoon, I should say. The days start to run together when you look at this type of tournament time here in November. It can often be tough to tell the weekdays from the weekend, as well as the afternoons from the evenings, but that's a good time of the year for us all. We appreciate you joining us here on SUV TV for it. But our officials, Bill Lewis, Carl Craig, and Eric Bailey. Bill Lewis signaling that and one, courtesy of Gaddafi Withers. South Paulding has done a good job of not panicking, not trying to get it all back at once. At the same time, you do need some sort of catalyst to be able to increase the scoring. Gaddafi Withers appears to be a willing candidate. Cannot get the back end free throw, so it'll be 16-6. Still a 10-point advantage for Lambert. Here's Ganote, out to Stoudemire. Nearly stolen, almost only counting in horseshoes in hand grenades. That floater off the mark, rebound pulled down by number 5, Chandler Travis. Withers gets it to Armstrong. We'll see if the foul's on Stoudemire or Deckard. Foul is going to go on Stoudemire. That'll be the third team foul against Lambert. If you're South Paulding and you can continue to attack, maybe get to the free throw line, that will help your cause. Frank Gibson can't get the roll there. Stoudemire for three. Rebound by Withers, then protected, had it poked away. Elbow jumper, splash. Jordan McElwain. McElwain knocking it down from three-pointers, so in the mid-range is not a lost start either. 18-6. Lambert rolling. Trying to work the high-low. Somebody zigged when they should have zagged. Stolen. Get it to Stoudemire. Stoudemire gathers and gets the lay-in. As Knowledge Rubin was trying to work a little bit of high-low there with Chandler Travis. Threw it right to McElwain, now 20-6. It's like Lambert started off by getting a good bounce on a jump shot by Stoudemire, and it's been the exact opposite on the South Paulding side of things. As they cannot get a roll, a couple of layups that they've had would not stay down. Things not going South Paulding's way right now, but still plenty of time left in the contest. But status quo for South Paulding, currently a 14-point deficit. Ganote loses the handle. Looked like he wanted to hand it off to Stoudemire there, kept it instead. Bothered and lost it out of bounds. Coming up on the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Withers in the corner, he'll try a three. Good. Gaddafi Withers rising to the task of getting South Paulding going on offense. Shot fake. Jumper, seeing red. Number 11, Austin Deckard. Well, not red. I believe that Lambert color is referred to as dead red. So adjusting that one for the school colors appropriately. It's a 14-point game. Austin Deckard, a big reason why, as he has a handful of triples already. Checking in for South Paulding, it'll be number 24. Have to see exactly who's wearing 24. I'll get that verified. Knowledge Rubin is number 23. Have to find out number 24's name for you. We'll do so during the next break in action. In for Lambert, number 20, Andrew Hama. McElwain makes the extra pass. Almost the identical spot where he knocked down his first three-pointer for Stoudemire. Can't get it to go. Withers, bullet pass ahead. And his best safety impression there was Jordan McElwain. Got the deflection, couldn't get the pick. Still a 14-point lead for the Longhorns. Lambert, no stranger to SUV TV. They were on air during the Jared Cook Classic last year. Their lacrosse program is often on our sister channel, Lacrosse Fire TV. It's that Lambert lacrosse program, well known not just throughout the state, throughout the country. We'll focus on the hardwood here. That's what Ganot's doing. The pass, Hama a little too strong. And it'll be last touched by Lambert, and we'll go over to South Paulding. Checking in for Lambert, number 13, Ryan Barthel, the senior. Get his first minutes of the afternoon. Lambert coming into the game 2-0. Defeated Noonan by a score of 90-65 and South Atlanta by a score of 84-62. That's a South Atlanta team that is not an easy team to score on like that at all over the years. Averaging 80-plus points are the Longhorns coming into this contest. In for Lambert, number 5. Cameron Nayebi, as well as number 3, Braxton Beatty. Chandler Travis, a lefty three-pointer from the corner. And now it's an 11-point game. So with a minute 25 and counting left in the first quarter, McElwain and Stoudemire getting a breather, as well as the hot shooting Austin Deckard. Lambert pushes the lead back out to 13, but let's see how South Paulding finishes this quarter. As Lambert jumped on him early, since then they've settled down a little bit. Gaddafi Withers has been a big reason why. A couple fingertips gotten on that three-point attempt. It's just short. Here's Ganot coming the other way, up and under. No good. Ball tipped around, and we'll have a foul there on the rebound attempt. So that'd be the 15th foul against Lambert. So if you can get in a position where you're South Paulding, talked about free throws minutes ago as far as using those to get back into the game. Now they've been able to see the ball go through the hole more. Getting in the penalty early in the first half will help. A great move, dipsy-do. And the most important part, the finish, Cameron Armstrong. So that's off-season drill work paying dividends right there. Makes it 14-25. Armstrong was behind the defense for a second. Withers ends up getting fouled on the play. 24 7/10 of a second left in the first quarter. South Paulding has weathered that initial storm from Lambert, while starters like McElwain, Stoudemire, and Deckard have been on the bench here over the past couple minutes. They started their ascent as far as fighting against that deficit even before those guys went to the bench. So good things brewing for South Paulding, as this one had ugly early potential, but Gaddafi Withers and South Paulding have responded. So Withers will go to the free throw line. Good on the first. So here, with 22 8/10 of a second left in the first quarter, South Paulding is already in a free throw shooting penalty situation. They've only committed one team foul. We'll see what impact that team foul discrepancy might have in the second quarter. And as of right now, we got just under 20 seconds left here in the first. Ganot gets it across the timeline. Here comes a double. Cross-court pass. Nayebi working baseline. Gets 2 defenders in the air, and he will head to the line. Coach Gil Davis motions as if he feels like that was a clean block. Looked like enough contact to call the foul. So that's going to send Nayebi to the line. Cameron Nayebi, a junior. Checking back in for South Paulding, it'll be Knowledge Rubin, sophomore. Nayebi, good on the second free throw. 11-point game. That one blocked against the glass. And that is going to do it for the first quarter. Appreciate you watching the Jared Cook Classic here on SUV TV. We'll be back with second quarter action. Lambert up over South Paulding. Welcome back to North Gwinnett High School, home of the Jared Cook Classic, the 2017 edition well underway. Lambert currently up by 11. Marcus Burdett joined on the by Sylvester Williams, also known as Slide, the sports guy. Slide Lambert, they had a good Jared Cook Classic last season. That's water under the bridge now, but they're getting it done here in 2017 as well.
Oh, man, impressive. Jumped out to an early 11-point lead at the quarter. Impressive-looking team out here, Lambert. The Longhorns. This is the second bunch of Longhorns we had here this week, right?
First being the Lanier Longhorns. We'll have them back here on day 3 as they'll take on Cabral Huff and Duluth. And Lanier was able to get a win over Lakeview Academy earlier in the week. This set of Longhorns in a good position to get a win here as well. South Paulding got off to a slow start, but due to the play of Gaddafi Withers as well as Chandler Travis chipping in on the offensive end, they pulled to within 11. Now the starters back in for Lambert. We'll see how they respond. That's Ganote with the ball. The lacrosse player has done a lot of facilitating here early on. McElwain doubled. Stoudemire makes the extra pass to Deckert. Driving baseline. Now here's Ganote. South Paulding defense, more communication and scrambling. Great defense and takeaway there by Austin Decker.
I thought he was going to get away and get a jump ball on that one. That was great defense. Great hustle to get down the court and strip that ball away from him.
Awesome defensive play. Like you mentioned, the hustle, it's one thing to get in the picture and knock it out of bounds, but to reach in, take it. Austin Decker doing more than just shooting the cover off the ball here early on.
You know, it shows you a lot. You're up by 12 or up by 11, and you're still hustling. You know, a lot of times you could have just gave that up and gave up the easy layup because you're up by 11.
Chandler Travis has stepped it up offensively here over the past few minutes. Had a 3 earlier. There he gets the deuce, makes it a 9-point game. Stoudemire has it knocked away. Now up top. The big fella trying to show the range. No good. Snatched down by Withers.
It looked good going up, though.
Armstrong, he's shown a little bit of sauce to his game here early on. Has that one knocked away. Pass ahead to Ganote. Ganote, the left-hand lay.
Beautiful. Left-hand side, left-hand layup, man. I love it.
You know, I shouted out Ganote in that Lambert lacrosse team, Sly. He's a two-sport player, and he's gotten off to a great start so far.
Yeah, got to see him a lot last year on Lacrosse 5 TV. See those Lambert Longhorns.
11-point game now. Chandler Travis, he's been finding the stroke as of late. A good look, can't get that one to go. Rebounded by the big fella, Colin Granger.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Gotta love when the big fellas complete the rim run, Sly.
Got to reward that big man when he runs down the court like that. That's just beautiful. It started off behind the back at the top of the half court. Ooh.
Then comes back and gets the block. Granger putting together a nice sequence, and the thing is, it's about the consistency and being able to do it over the body of 4 quarters. If your big man can run the floor consistently with those rim runs, there's 6 to 8 points that you're almost guaranteed to get over the course of a game.
And it does so much for the morale of your team. When you see the big man running up and down the court like that, it makes everybody want to get into it. Because you know good and well, those big centers, those big forwards, they're not the most in-shape guys. But if they're running, that makes everybody want to get out and run.
Exactly. Like you mentioned, got to reward them when they do so. That's what Lambert did that last play. They have a 13-point lead. Traveling violation will give it back to Withers and South Paulding. Frank Gibson will bring it up now. As I could see this being one of those games where Frank Gibson and Withers, Chandler, Travis, they probably won't get too many breathers this contest. And Withers says who needs one, lays it up.
They call him Tank.
Stoudemire, contact on the play. No charge call, no blocking call. Refs let him play. Chandler Travis weaving through traffic. Lefty flips it up and in, and that's going to prompt a timeout by head coach Scott Bracco. We'll listen in to this coach's mic'd up session presented by the Atlanta Tip-Off Club.
All right, offensively right now, we're just kind of playing like they're playing. All right, move the ball around, attack and kick, be strong with the ball. And defense, we're not rotating. They're getting to the rim on us like it's like playing against 7th and 8th graders. Rotate, take charges, shift on defense. If we play great defense, then then we'll do great things on offense. All right, let's go. Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I guess, thanks to Atlanta Tip-Off Club for bringing us that in the huddle look, in the huddle look and in the huddle listen. You love to see that, here on SUV TV. You get to see behind the scenes. You get to see what's actually going on behind some of these calls, man. That's a great little thing brought to you by Atlanta Tip-Off Club.
So for Coach Bracco's team, offense hasn't been a problem for them here in this game. Felt like defensively they definitely needed to improve. You look at that last baseline drive by Withers, an easy layup. That's not how they started the game, so Coach Bracco admonishing those guys to step it up defensively. On the offensive side, Braxton Beatty with the mid-range J.
Like to see your young 10th grader get out there, that sophomore get out there, show the stroke with the nice jumper.
Is there a foul going to go against number 33, Ganote?
I think that's one of those bailout calls right there. Referee might have saved him.
So that is going to send Withers to the line, and we talked about it earlier. Still 18 fouls against Lambert, just 2 team fouls for South Paulding. You saw them able to keep it within 11 to 12 points after going down by as many as 14, I believe. Now they're in a position to where, hey, fouls equal free throws for the last 4 minutes of this one.
And the great thing about this, when you're so far down, not only do the fouls equal free throws, it stops the clock. So you can score without the clock moving, and you losing time off the clock.
Splits the pair of free throws, now a 10-point contest. Ganote over to Stoudemire. Stoudemire being guarded by Withers. Screen set there by the big fella. He'll roll. McElwain lost the handle. South Paulding coming the other way. 3-on-2 break. Layup on the other end there for Shane Gibson.
And you know what I love? I love they're playing strong defense and getting layups off of the strong defense. That's how you come back. You don't come back by shooting wild threes. You come back by playing strong defense and getting the ball to the hole.
Coach Bracco talking that huddle. Hey, guys, let's use our defense to, kind of help spark our offense. South Paulding taking a page out of that book right now. Stoudemire tries to answer with a 3, and it's rebounded by Travis. Gibson, now a baseline drive. And 1. No call. Gaddafi Withers, he'll take the 2. It's a 6-point game.
High percentage shots close to the basket.
And give Gaddafi Withers a lot of credit. His poise early on when Lambert came out to a hot start. He's already shown that he's a player that can put his head down, get to the rack, and be more aggressive on the offensive end, but he didn't do that too early to where, his team kind of followed his lead as far as not panicking and just staying the course. They pulled to within 6. Beatty gonna try to get another jumper. Misses badly. Weaving through jerseys is Shane Gibson. Gibson.
I think he got away with a travel on that
He did.
one. But you know one thing, they say, how do you take down a tree? You know, one swing at a time, and that's how they're doing it. Just chopping steadily, chopping down this Lambert tree.
They pulled to within 4. McElwain crosses over. Now gets it to Deckard. Deckard is cooled off after knocking down his first 3 3-pointers. And there you look at Gibson, Frank Gibson as well as Shane Gibson. Right there, just didn't move the feet, reached instead of moving their feet. Coming in for Lambert, it'll be number 13, Ryan Barthel. There's McElwain. Being defended nicely, and now not sure whether they're looking to set the tone or what, but they definitely upped the foul calls here over the past minute or so.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can understand the frustration out of some of these young guys. It's like, you know, you're looking at the foul. It's like, hey, I didn't see it, but, you know, referee had a better seat than I did.
Yeah. And the reality of it is a couple of these fouls, even though they've been light, they haven't been moving their feet. As you see that splash there from Austin Deckard getting back to his shooting ways. We'll take another listen in here to the Lambert huddle.
That's the 30 right here. Right here. Hey, right here. Right here.
All the way back.
Jordan, our effort is terrible. We're kicking our tail right now, and you're gonna walk to the bench? Give us some effort. Bench, they're out energizing you right now. They're into the game, you're not. Get into the game over here. Help these guys out. Okay? Let's go fire right here. Right away, go fire. Come on, let's go. 1 on 3, 1, 2, 3. Come on.
So Coach Bracco hammering home defense there in the last mic'd up session presented by Atlanta Tip-Off Club. This time feels like guys are getting out-energized.
You know what? That's so important what he said. Sometimes when you jump out to such a big lead like that, your energy kind of dies down. You figure you're content with the lead, and that's exactly what happened. The Longhorns got content.
Content with that layup there is the big fella, Knowledge Rubin, the assist from Frank Gibson. Good hustle there by Travis, able to keep it in bounds, gets it up ahead to Gibson. Gibson pushes it the other way, hesitates, now he'll explode. Looked like that was partially blocked, but they'll keep it alive. Knowledge trying to get the touch, can't get it to go, and we'll have a loose ball foul.
See, right now, South Paulding wants some more. You know, you can look, the smallest man on the court right there, Tank Withers, got the rebound on that play, got the possession back on that play. He just wanted it more than any of the Longhorns wanted it.
As the Longhorns trying to change things up, they are still up, but definitely not the cushion that they had going into the latter part of that first quarter. As South Paulding has turned it up. Ganote with it. Gets it to McElwain. McElwain to Deckard. Deckard just knocked down a triple a couple possessions ago. There we'll have a foul on the play. So as far as that team foul discrepancy, it is no more. 18 fouls to 17 fouls.
It evened back up real quick. Real quick, fast, and in a hurry, those fouls came.
I want to take a second to thank Josh Mendoza and Virtual Properties Realty. Whether you're buying or selling a home, Virtual Properties Realty offers a state-of-the-art Atlanta area home search engine that updates daily. Visit joshmendoza.virtualpropertiesrealty.net to browse their real estate listings or to receive a comparable market analysis for your home, free of charge.
Right now it shows you how important free throws are in a game like this. You know the refs are going to call it close, so you have to knock down those big free throws to keep that lead.
It's a must, and Lambert had a thriller, I believe, against Duluth last year, one in which every point counted. They won at the buzzer. Speaking of every point counted, he gets the deuce, gets the steal, hesitates. Now Armstrong goes up, and he'll get a trip to the free throw line. A spark plug out there on the floor for South Paulding there in Frank Gibson.
I'm telling you, man, Frank Gibson, and even though Withers is on the bench right now, those two little guys, man, they've been impressive leading this comeback.
And if you're Coach Davis, to be able to, you had an instance to where You had to be looking at it if you're Coach Gil Davis saying, man, Withers might not be able to get a second on the bench this game with the way that Lambert came out shooting the ball and what they needed him to do, to where the last 2 minutes of this second quarter you can give Withers a blow because you guys have fought back and have the game in control right now.
Huge free throw right there. Got to knock that one down, Mr. Armstrong. You know, one thing the young Armstrong did when he was laying it up, he was trying to throw his body into the defender so he could get the foul, and he was concentrating a little bit too much on trying to pick up the foul rather than hitting the layup. When you're in that close to the basket, you want to hit the layup. That's where your concentration should be, and worry about the foul later.
Great point there, a 4-point contest now. McElwain and the Longhorns have cooled off relatively speaking here as the game has went on. That layup just short. The big fella Knowledge Rubin with the rebound gets it in the hands of Gibson. They'll roll the other way. A layup drill on the other end. And again, Coach Bracco telling his team we got to step it up. South Paulding just wanting it more right now.
1, 2, 3, and 4 for South Paulding. These guys, they're just out and running and doing the layup line. Oh, my goodness.
But this Lambert team shooting the ball so well. 90 points first game, 84 points second game. Ryan Barthel with a triple here in this one.
That's got to hurt you. Bring a game back down to 2 points, and then you get somebody just drill a three-pointer.
With a hand in face.
With a hand in the face.
Pass over to Chandler Travis. Had some good buckets early on to help bridge the gap. Dime. The reverse blown. Give me that inside, says Shane Gibson. 3-point opportunity. That's no good. Another offensive rebound for South Paulding. 3 for a dollar sale on jumpers. That one's no good. Austin Decker gets the rebound ahead to Damon Stoudemire. Boom time.
At the buzzer.
A good way to end the first half, though Scott Bracco will definitely have some halftime comments for his team. Damon Stoudemire sends us into halftime. It's a 7-point lead in favor of Lambert. We'll be back with the 2017 Jared Cook Classic after intermission.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam Crenshaw reminding you about the inaugural Hawks Nation Holiday Tip-Off Classic. It comes your way December 21st through 23rd at Norcross High School. Here's what the coaches have to say.
When you put those two names in front of something that it's going to be run first class, the level of competition is going to be very good. Crowds are going to be real good over here. So it's just really exciting for us to be in it and be able to play that first night in it right here. And so, and for me, an opportunity to come back and coach in this facility again is really special.
It always comes a breaking point in everything that you do. But here's what the great ones do when the breaking point comes. Everybody loves the game. When it's tight, when everything is going well, you hit shots, but it gets to a certain point, which the breaking point, meaning at a certain point, somebody is going to retreat and not want it so much, and somebody is going to say, this is why I play the game of basketball.
Welcome back to the 2017 Jared Cook Classic. Appreciate you joining us here on SUV TV. A couple of sponsors we want to recognize. The Atlanta Tip-Off Club annually recognizes the top high school and college players, coaches, officials, and administrators in Metro Atlanta and the state of Georgia. Join the ATOC, nominate players and coaches, or learn more at www.atltipoffclub.com, and also Stat Row. Stat Row showcases youth sports highlights and gives a portion of its revenue back to teams. Visit statrow.com today to learn how your team can partner with Stat Row. Marcus Burnett joined by Sylvester Williams as we are moments away from getting the second half started here at the JCC. Slide knocking his knuckles against the table as Webb's DJ Services has another gym going here at this year's event.
Oh yeah, exciting. Webb's DJ Services. You know, these guys been jamming all tournament long. Oh, look at you.
Edgar Wayne says, hey, I kind of like that music as well. Comes out and gets what was a lot of contact for it not to be an and one, but the ref letting him play through it. He gets the deuce and makes it a 9-point game.
And you know, that's what I can't understand about the refs. It seems like they're calling everything on the perimeter, but on the inside, they're letting them play.
Right, and we're saying that in context. Head official Bill Lewis came over before the game as that three is knocked down there by Gaddafi Withers. He had 16 first half points. Austin Deckard for Lambert gets that deuce. He had 13 points in the first half. But like you mentioned, Sly, it's been either feast or famine, I guess, relatively speaking, as far as the foul call. It's either been a ticky-tack foul that they'll call or a foul where you see the contact and assume something will be called and they'll let it go. But as we always say, Sly, it's much tougher for them to officiate during game speed and do different things. We say stuff for the context of the game.
There we go.
I guess they kind of owe McElwain that one, you know.
You know, like you said, it is much easier when we're sitting over here on the sideline.
Speaking of much easier, that layup right there from Stoudemire.
Looks like they caught South Paulding sleeping on that one. Stoudemire just cut straight to the hole.
One thing to keep an eye on for those just joining us, Lambert got off to the races early. A Stoudemire three, McElwain three, handful of threes from Austin Deckard. They were rolling up double digits for most of the first quarter.
Oh.
That was until that young man there, Frank Gibson, who gets that bucket, Gaddafi Withers, Shane Gibson and company really turned things up. Chandler Travis with some key buckets as well. And they made it a 6-point game going into the half. 7-point game, 43-36 going into the half. So here we are in the third quarter. Ganote with it, being guarded by Cameron Armstrong. Now here's McElwain. Good note, trying to get it inside to the big fella. The entry pass was poked away. That was a good entry pass. Big fella just couldn't get it cleanly. Ooh. Armstrong with the crab dribble. I say that in air quotes. Looked like a travel, but he got away with it. Bringing it back out and setting it up is Gibson. Knowledge Rubin gonna try the jumper. Stoudemire with the rebound.
Yeah, you would love to have your big man be able to hit that little free throw line or elbow jumper right there. That definitely keeps the defense honest.
McElwain tries a three, can't get it to go. Cam Armstrong with the rebound, the junior. Has a nice handle, does the junior. This time he'll try the jumper. Can't get it to go. Tapped around by Knowledge Rubin initially. Withers gets it, goes chest to chest, and finishes. So we have a delay of game warning there.
Yeah, one of those times where you tap the ball back down to the official out of bounds. This is a delay of game.
Now I want to make sure that was Withers on the bucket. I might have to look back at the replay. I want to make sure that was Withers because I think the delay of game warning was on Gibson, but it was Withers that got the bucket. Armstrong going to get a trip to the free throw line. So our lovely producer, Lisa Burnett, queuing up the replay. You see that power dribble, chest to chest, finishing through the contact. And you credit that basket there to Withers. So it was Withers. Want to make sure we gave credit where it's due, and Withers and Gibson, though Withers got that bucket, both of those gentlemen deserve credit for this still being a 5-point game at this point.
Gotta like anybody who they call Tank.
That is a hard nickname not to. You know, I was listening to the Dan Levitard show this past week with Stu Gotts and those guys, and they were going on names. They were just strictly going on athlete names as far as whether you would buy or sell if you didn't see that guy's talent. And like you said, Sly, I'm rolling with Tank.
Tank. Especially when your tank is about 5'7", 120 pounds. But you know what, though? It's funny. They say it isn't the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. The young man has been jumping in the passing lanes, going to the lane. I'm not sure how much he has right now, but I know he has at least 3 or 4 layups in transition.
There, right place, right time. Put that up, couldn't get it to go. Knowledge Rubin with the follow. He's too strong on the shot. Deckard is up now. Gets it ahead to Stoudemire. Stoudemire behind the back, trying to avoid Knowledge Rubin. Drops it off to Granger. Granger got tripped up, no call. South Paulding coming the other way. Travis with the assist, the layup by Frank Gibson. 3-point contest. McElwain will bring it across the timeline.
Now, every time McElwain goes to the basket, he carries the ball. If you watch his hand, when he does that crossover dribble, he'll cuff it and carry it over. And pretty soon the referee's going to call it, and he's going to call it in a crucial time. I can guarantee you it's going to come because he does it every crossover.
Sly McElwain's going to watch this game, and he's going to say, man, why is this guy, if the refs haven't called it, man, let me do what I do. But no, but the thing is, it's so tough as you see McElwain get the layup there. For me as a ref, it would be so hard for me to call carrying and traveling calls when I see that because it just seems like it's a built-in part of today's game.
And you know who you give credit to that carry, to so many people carrying the ball now. I give credit to Michael Jordan because what Jordan did, what a lot of people don't know, when Jordan first started doing this crossover in the 80s and stuff, and he started, having what I like to call a power crossover, none of the fancy dribbling, just a direct move. What Jordan would do, Jordan had such big hands, he would palm the ball when he crossed over. But kids on the playground, kids my age, you watch Michael Jordan, you couldn't palm the ball like Jordan because our hand wasn't big enough, so we went and slid our hand up under the ball and crossed over. And then that's how that carry just became so big on the playground. And I remember at one time, the referees had a big, what do you call those, preseason meetings or whatever, where they were saying they were going to they were going to really start calling the carry.
I'm sure Brian Russell can kind of be the first witness to call up on what you mentioned with that Jordan dynamic, but I mean, join the list. He's MJ. Travis ahead, lays that one off the back of the rim. Withers has it blocked by McElwain. Southpaw jumper along the baseline. That's no good. Another crack at it. Coach Bracco can't be happy with the number of offensive rebounds. I say really ever since the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, they've been dominating the offensive boards. I've been talking about second chance putbacks. It's a tie game, and that's really based on second chance putbacks.
And we're tied at 51 apiece. McElwain will pull a three. Cameron Armstrong gets the rebound. They can take the lead. The first time they will have led this game, they can't get that jumper to go, but of course they get a second crack at it. That one off the mark. As we're still tied at 51 apiece. Here's Decker. Gets it to Granger. Granger fouled on the play. He'll shoot two.
That's a good defensive block right there, even though they got called for the foul because he got all hand. But what he did, he got enough hand in there so he wouldn't make the shots. That's a good foul. You'll take that foul in a tie ball game.
Certainly. Much better than giving up an and one.
Yeah. And that's one thing people have to understand. If you're going to foul, make sure the foul counts. It's nothing like going up there, getting the foul, and he sinks the basket. That hurts.
And Granger is a player. If you come with a ticky-tack foul, he's definitely able to finish through it. The big sophomore. Going to be a nice boy there on both ends for Coach Bracco here over the next couple years. I'm sure he's looking to make the most out of playing with seniors Jordan McElwain and Damon Stoudemire, the two lead guards here for this squad.
And see, I like his game to be a sophomore, to be 15 years old, to be a sophomore right now and playing with experienced vets like Stoudemire and McElwain. You know, play with those guys. Next year, the program's his. He has the key to the driver's seat. You know, everything's probably going to go through him next year.
As number 20, Andrew Hammer checks in, and what you give up in height, and he's not as big as Granger, but definitely a sturdy kid out there in Andrew Hammer, number 20.
Exactly.
Not exactly sure if Hammer plays for the Lambert football squad. We'll look into that, but if he hasn't, if I'm the head coach, I'm definitely swinging by homeroom a couple times to make sure he's not interested.
Uh-oh, hard pick, and a man goes down on that one.
Austin Deckard being helped up.
I think they may have bumped knees on that one.
Oh, yeah, that's.
See what happens when you set that pick. You're supposed to set the pick both feet solid, shoulders solid, not leaning. But what happened, young man set the pick and leaned out toward him, and that's what caused that foul, and they bumped knees. Looks like the trainers will get over there and look at that knee.
And that's what's tough, and the thing about it is it always hurts more after the game is done and that adrenaline lets off, like most things in game, but almost the last thing you want to do is sit on it for a couple minutes. You know, I'd make sure he's good to go, and if he can play, try to get him back in as soon as possible. Stoudemire wanted the and one call, didn't get it, but it gets the deuce to make it 54-51. Over to Armstrong, a deep two. Good.
Beautiful shot.
Pass to Hama. Hama able to keep it in bounds, but too strong on the layup. 1 point game. Withers going to get it to Shane Gibson. Gibson called for the offensive foul. Nice job of moving the feet there by McElwain.
Yeah, beautiful job. But like you said earlier today, you want to play defense with your feet, not with your hands, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't try to go for the swipe. He didn't try to go for the block. He just moved his feet and slid into position, and the ref had no choice but to call an offensive foul.
1 point contest. We are under the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter. McElwain with the ball. He'll try a deep two. Partially blocked. Cameron Armstrong with the rebound. He's got Gibson ahead. Gets it to him. McElwain the challenge. And does just enough to bother that. Make it miss, and then Barthel with the rebound. Some of the effort that Coach Bracco wanted to see from his team on the defensive end. Cameron Niebi will go and shoot two.
I thought he might have drew that charge. But here's the problem with being the big guy playing basketball. You know, they expect you to be able to take the contact, and anytime any contact's made, they expect the big guy to be the aggressor in the contact. So So he's going to lose that battle most of the time trying to take a charge.
So Yebby at the line. Gets that one to stay down. Checking back in for Lambert, number 3, Braxton Beatty. Beatty is sophomore as well, so you mentioned Colin Granger. Beatty has a bigger role on his hands down the road, but 2 good guys to have to go against in practice each day and play with there in McElwain and Stoudemire. Tell you one player to keep an eye on, I think, into this 3rd quarter and going into the 4th is Cameron Armstrong with the ball right now. Has good wiggle to his game as far as being able to create a shot. But there you got the big fella dropping Knowledge. Knowledge Rubin. The big man finish inside. Tied at 55 apiece. McElwain takes a bump and gets that one to go off the window. Back up by 2 is Lambert. Here's Withers. Withers protects the ball as he gets past Hammer and lays that one in. Too easy. 57 apiece. McElwain, he's been trying to get that 3 here over the past couple times. Misses it. Stoudemire with the rebound, poked away by Travis. Gibson ahead to Knowledge. Knowledge to Armstrong. Armstrong. I know Armstrong has NBA aspirations, but yeah, they're going to call that here. He could have gotten away with it. We were at Phillips Arena, Slide. That's a dunk.
Hey, you know what he just did? He looked over on the sideline and he looked in the bleachers, the opposite of his team's bench. And I guess he might have a parent or something. And he said, I traveled, and whoever did it, he said, yeah. Yes.
You can appreciate that. Throw the 100 icon in there.
Say, yeah, you traveled.
Under 10 seconds. Stoudemire, a 3. Can't get it to go. Nayebe and Withers fight for the rebound. Last touched. Let's say last touch by Lambert, so it'll be South Paulding's ball. Checking back in for the final possession of the 3rd quarter will be Colin Granger. Withers, bullet pass to Gibson. Gibson should have enough time to get a shot off. Gets it to Knowledge. The unselfish play, but he could have put that up. As Withers tries to echo that sentiment.
And you can see Coach Davis. Coach Davis came all the way out to the 3-point line. But you're right there. You're right there. Shoot it.
So that will do it for the 3rd quarter. Thanks for watching the Jared Cook Classic on SUV TV. We'll be back with 4th quarter action after this quick break. And welcome back to SUV TV, presentation of the 2017 Jared Cook Classic. Also another classic on the way, the Atlanta Hawks Naismith Classic. The inaugural edition will take place December 21st through the 23rd at Norcross High School. 2 of the teams that will be in there, Shiloh and Miller Grove, they'll play at 7, but a very talented list. Go to HawksNaismithClassic.com to check out the full team list. Sly, what was the call there?
He called 5 seconds, didn't cross the timeline, closely guarded 5 seconds. I thought it was a quick 5, but math wasn't my major.
So a 57-point game here in the 4th quarter. You said that quick 5. It made me think of that quick 9 that we referenced when Roscoe Eastman came out with those 3 straight 3-pointers. McEachern played Wheeler earlier this year on SUV TV. You might want to check the archives for that one, but there was a quick 9 there instead of the quick 5-second violation caught there. They get the bounce on that last layup. It's now 59-57. Withers fouled on the play.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness. What Withers is doing is just taking it hard to the hole And I think he realizes that his jumper isn't working tonight, because I've seen him pass up 2 or 3 jumpers on the wing to try to take the ball to the hole. And that's what you have to do. You have to be self-aware. You have to know your game.
And Withers has done a good job of doing that. When he needed to pick the pace up, attack, and score, he did that early on to really help weather that initial storm from Lambert. I think Cameron Armstrong is going to get more involved in the half-court set. He's doing a lot of dribbling now, but he has a good handle, as I just jinxed him. The second I started giving him praise for what he could do with the ball, he turns it over. Decker trying to convert on the other end and can't do so, but they haven't been able to use Armstrong as much in the half court, because to get going early, they really had to rely a lot on Withers just being able to get the ball and go and then manufacture points out of that. But Armstrong definitely a player that can create his own shot.
Now, I like this backcourt they have in there now with Withers and Gibson. That's when they make that big run, when those two were on the floor together.
Very true. As Withers has 16 first-half points. Gibson with 6, but more impact than that 6 points might indicate.
See, I think those two just being pesky and jumping in those defensive passing lanes, you know, that backcourt made a big difference for South Paulding.
Not to mention their ability to rebound the ball from the guard position.
Yeah.
You know, offensive rebounds have been great. Saw Knowledge Rubin take a couple jumpers. Sometimes you want to see your big man stay inside, but hey, they've been rebounded by committee all game. Now Granger wants it inside, trying to go to work, the little jump hook.
Yeah.
Okay, big fella.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy to find a player you can throw it in and let him score back to the basket. Granger gets it to go there, a 4-point contest. And McElwain called for a travel.
And see, right there on a play like that, that's when you're going to need Gibson to dribble with his head up. He went down there. It was a 2-on-4 fast break. I don't know if you know, that situation like that, you pull it out. Let your team come down there and help you out. He kind of got bailed out on a traveling call after he turned it over or missed a shot.
Free throw line jumper, just short there from Travis. Granger must have gotten him with the body. Sounded like all ball, but he got him with the body. As you can see, Stoudemire sort of using that as a teaching moment there with the younger Granger.
Withers might be the leading rebounder in the game.
Very well might be.
He's got at least 5 offensive rebounds.
Great event here. First-class staff, Coach Matt Garner, head coach at North Gwinnett, and event director at the Jared Cook Classic. Beautiful digs. They got the new scores table, video scores table there across the way, and this beautiful floor via CBA Sports. If your school's gym floor took a selfie, how would it look? In addition to new court construction, CBA Sports offers maintenance services that can help your court look and feel better. Visit cbasports.com today to schedule a consultation or learn more. A 3-point contest, a foul on the play.
Yeah, big man pushed him in the back that time. And anytime you push in the back, 2 things. You want to make sure you're not standing in front of the ref when you do it, and make sure you don't use both hands when you do it.
You say you're not hedging your bets at all if you do it right in front of the ref and then both hands on there. It's a wrap. That is the defense version of having your hand in the cookie jar.
Mm-hmm. He's young though. He's a sophomore. You'll learn those veteran tricks as you get a little bit older.
You know, speaking of veteran tricks, our buddies at CBA Sports, the story that VP of Marketing Jay Williams told there, Dominique Wilkins, a member of that CBA Sports team, said he was playing Dominique one-on-one, and Dominique found a way to kind of get him with an elbow that you couldn't tell was thrown, but he felt it 12 hours later when he got home. Just a little veteran savvy move as Granger a little shaken up on the play.
That's going to be one. That's going to be one that Granger has to think about.
Granger trying to shake it off.
Yeah. Welcome to the club, young man.
Big fella trying to shake it off. Miller Grove versus Shiloh coming up at 7. Head coach Rasul Chester coming by the broadcast booth just to touch base. And also ran that trailer at halftime. Be sure to check out the Miller Grove Reclaiming the Crown documentary. Team won 7 out of 8. Team won 7 out of 8 state championships. A program with a lot of tradition, a lot of history. Even though Coach White is going on in Georgia State, now Coach Chester has taken over and has done a great job. I think it's a good time of the year for teams to be able to look at what it takes to be able to finish the season atop as a champion.
Excellent documentary about these young guys. You know, 7 out of 8 state championships, 2 classes. That's something special. And
not to mention that last team that won the state championship, these guys came about 30 seconds shy of winning the national title.
Exactly.
They're at Dick's Nationals.
And I wouldn't say that wasn't even the most talented team. A good follow. Good follow by Armstrong, but that was nowhere close to the most talented team that they had at Miller Grove.
Yep. As we'll listen in to the huddle here on Mic'd Up, presented by the Atlanta Tip-Off Club.
You're doing fine, lady. Look for a press right here. All right, look for a press. Let's go 3 up. We got a bad shot, but he took a bad shot between his legs, but we got to have backside block out. They're tipping on the backside. We did our job. We didn't get a steal, okay, but they forced a shot, and that was good. That's a bad shot. Look, hey, let's go 3 up right here. We're in the bonus. We should shoot free throws every possession or score a basket every possession. We should get 1 point every possession. All right, here we go. Here we go. 103. 1, 2, 3.
So during that comeback run there by South Paulding, coach didn't like his team's defensive effort. They were giving up much easier buckets. You saw there, commended his team for making the shots more difficult. If those guys hit a tough shot, a high degree of difficulty shot, that's one thing. But as far as letting them score it with a low degree of difficulty and not enough defensive resistance, that's something he doesn't want to see his team do. Currently 62-60.
I think one thing they need to do is definitely box out on the defensive boards.
Got to, because South Paulding is sending all 5 to the boards.
And speaking of box out, Knowledge did a good job of boxing out Granger right there, and that's how Granger picked up the over-the-back foul. You know, it's always great to be a good leaper or a good jumper or very athletic, but when you do the basic fundamentals, that helps out so much. You don't have to be such a great athlete.
Big time. I mean, you look at some of the best rebounders in NBA history. You know, Dennis Rodman wasn't, you know, he was athletic enough. He could jump high, but so much of it, he talked about being able to know how the ball is going to bounce off the rim a certain way and being locked into certain fundamental elements that, like you said, go beyond your athleticism or vertical leap.
Mm-hmm.
A guy that can jump 100 feet in the 100 inches in the air, however much you want to quantify it, you box him out, you can still get that rebound.
Ooh, missed the pick and roll.
Power dribble, maybe a little bit too much power on that one for Armstrong, but they keep it. Chandler Travis buries it.
Foot on the line.
It looked like a tough scenario as Gannot was headed straight for that corner. Once he hit about the 3/4 quarter mark.
I used to have a coach who said that used to be the worst shot in all of basketball. You shoot that 3-pointer with your foot on the line.
A deep 2, but we're going to have a timeout. So we'll take a timeout with them. When we get back, we'll bring you more South Paulding versus Lambert. Thanks for joining us back at the Jared Cook Classic. Want to thank Virtual Properties Realty and Josh Mendoza, sponsorship of this year's broadcast here at the Jared Cook Classic. Per the Atlanta Business Chronicle, Virtual Properties Realty has more buy-sell transactions than any other real estate office in the Atlanta area. Visit joshmendoza.virtualpropertiesrealty.net to browse listings or add your property to their state-of-the-art search engine. As that turnover is going to give it back to Lambert, a 62-62 game here as we approach the 4-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. Marcus Burnett joined by Sly Williams, also known as Sly the Sports Guy. Ganote with it. Now he'll get it to Stoudemire, being guarded by Travis. Stoudemire crosses over, now being doubled. Gets it up and gets the and one. Damon Stoudemire.
That's how you stick with it down low. I thought he was about to lose it and turn it over, but he stuck with it and still managed to get it up and get the foul and get the basket.
No, it's very hard to bring that ball below the knees and still find a way to bring it up and be able to score it. He was able to do that with both Knowledge Rubin and a very good defender in Chandler Travis all over him there on that play. 62-65. Travis gonna shoot a three. Can't get it to go. Nobody boxes out Withers, but his tip-in attempt is no good. Here's McElwain. McElwain looking to attack. Offensive foul. Cameron Armstrong.
Beautiful. You know one thing about drawing a charge, what makes it so special, true, you have to be in position. True, you have to be tough enough to take and absorb the contact. But you have to be smart enough to anticipate where that guy is going so you can get in position to draw that charge. Charge is a great heads-up play.
Oh, Travis all by his lonesome gets behind the Longhorn defense and lays it up to make it 64-65. Ganote to Stoudemire. Stoudemire back out to Ganote. Foul on the play. We'll see who it's on.
You know, my favorite thing, the players walk away looking up their hands. They're like, what, foul. 3 of them hit them. And everybody looking like, what do you mean foul?
That's why you truly give the refs credit. No, there's no perfect coach, no perfect player, no perfect ref either. But even when they are calling a good game, you won't get that consensus across the board from the stands. I can guarantee you that. As Ganote gets the free throw. This is game 1 of 4 here at today's Jared Cook Classic. North Gwinnett will take on Tucker up next, followed by Shiloh versus Miller Grove. And the primetime matchup, Wheeler versus Cedar Shoals. Ooh. Trying to make lemonade out of lemons there was Withers. Still sticking with it. As Withers, that's his best Tasmanian Devil impression there on that one. I mean, he was just getting it up, attacking the glass. Had what, 2 to 3 rebounds there in that sequence alone.
Withers has to have about 6 or 7 offensive rebounds tonight. And I'm just saying offensive rebounds. I don't know how many total he has, but he has to have about 6 or 7 offensive boards tonight. I love it. The smallest man on the court is dominating the offensive glass.
Refusing to be denied on the inside. And it's been a good team effort for South Paulding, both defensively and in terms of other guys stepping up and scoring the ball. But make no mistake, if Gaddafi Withers doesn't respond how he did early on, then this is easily a high teens, possibly a 20-point deficit at this point in the game with the way Lambert came out shooting the ball. They're a tough team. They're not a team that you're really just going to lock down like that. At some point, you have to be able to balance stepping up the defense with getting some points of your own. South Paulding was able to do that. Currently a 3-point contest. Ball poked away. Pass a little bit too hot to handle there for Armstrong.
You know, sometimes, you know, you love to play the team game. You love to share, get everybody involved. But sometimes you have to be aggressive. He had the basket and the lane wide open to himself, and he wanted to pass that off to his teammate. Got to be aggressive. You got to take your shot.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark. As Lambert fine, taking a little bit of time. They'll stay beyond the volleyball line until South Paulding gives them a reason. So it looks like the official.
I think we got got blood on the hand, got a little cut. You're gonna have to tape it up.
Carl Craig stops play and gets Gaddafi Withers to check out and get that taken care of. As Withers probably still didn't want to come out of the game as hard as he plays. He's getting gauzed up there by the training staff. Stoudemire with it. Being guarded by the long defender, Chandler Travis. Leaves Travis, now kicks it out to Deckard. He's been hot from three-point land. Ice cream.
I think everybody on the sideline knew that was going in.
Yes. Makes it 64-70. A big three-pointer as it's now a 6-point lead. Withers at the scorer's table, waiting on the next dead ball to be able to check in. Here's Gibson. He'll try a mid-range. No good. The box out slide, we just talked about it. Being outmatched sometimes in terms of size or whatever the case may be. Austin Deckard with the box out.
And see, that's all about positioning right there. Positioning and just outthinking your opponent right there. You know the shot's coming up. You anticipate where it's going to come off the rim at, and you box your man out. You put a body on your man. You do that every time. You don't have to jump out the gym to win the rebounding game. It helps. True enough, it helps if you can leap out of the gym. But just getting in proper position to get that rebound is so huge. But you got to hit these free throws. You know, it perplexes me so much. How can someone be such a great three-point shooter and can't hit the free throw? This will be the second one in a row he splits. Well, if he makes this one.
And what's always been interesting to me about free throws, and really just players, different games, you know, just period. There are different dynamics with each player. There are some players that are much better shooters with a hand and face on the move versus when they're at a free throw line and there's nothing in their way. Not to say that that's the case with Deckard. He hasn't missed enough free throws for me to make that generalization, but I've definitely seen that happen. As we'll do an Atlanta tip-off club coaches mic'd up session there with Coach Bracco there with Lambert.
Hey, you think it's going to one right here? I think. All right, hey. Hey, listen. Hey, Mitch has number one. Okay, he's tight. Whoever's throwing the ball in, look at this. Whoever's throwing the ball, I want you guys to run with Mitch. You see what I'm saying? Don't touch this guy. All right? If your man's throwing the ball in, run with Mitch. And then when the ball goes in, you got to get back. Can you do that? Because number 5 can step in and get a 3. All right? Excuse me? Like we're double teaming number 1. Okay?
Get in, you got to get back.
Big Bird, we need you right here. And this is how you play defense. If your man's right here, you guard right here. If there's penetration, you don't worry about your man. We'll rotate down on your man. All right, here we go.
You have got
Let's
to
go.
sprint, Black.
Hey, rebound the ball and get to the free throw line. 5 out offensively. 1 up 3. 1, 2, 3. Hustle. Hey, they're going to run sprint. Hey.
Coach Bracco focusing on the X's and O's there. Heard him refer to someone as Big Bird.
I wonder who's Big Bird.
I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say it's Colin Granger, the big sophomore. But that will be a post-game trivia question. Traveling violation going to go against Cameron Armstrong. And speaking of trivia, tune in to Wheeler versus Cedar Shoals. Game tips off at 8:35 p.m. Eastern as you have a chance to win a pair of Hawks tickets. If you can be the first to answer the trivia question we'll post during the broadcast at SUVTV and at ATO Tip-Off Club and be the first to answer and win 2 pairs of Hawks tickets. Or 2 Hawks tickets, I should say, 1 pair.
Can I qualify for that?
No, Sly, you cannot. But I'll make sure we have an SUVTV team trip to the Hawks
well, there you go.
arena. You know, we can go down there, we can get a haircut, we can take in some Top Golf, we can you know, have some libations there at the ground level, court level, you know, grill there.
I love what they did to Phillips Arena. You know, I go to Killer Mike's barbershop down there, and not the one downtown, the one in South Fulton, off of Roosevelt Highway. I go to that barbershop.
I might have to go there and give it a try, especially sometime over the next probably 2 years or so. So I'm probably about 2 years away from shaving. I'm 2 years away from the shaved head. I'm holding on.
I tell you, I've had a shaved head since I was 15 years old. Hadn't had a fade since I was 15.
You know, I always tune in to the Bomani Jones show, and he jokes with guys as far as being a member of the Come On Home All-Stars, the guys that just don't want to let the hairline go and go ahead and shave. I'm not quite home yet. You know, GPS at least has me about 2 years away, I'd say.
Tell you, power of a beautiful woman. I was 15. I got a bad haircut, and I decided to shave my head all the way bald. And then a young girl said, "Hey, you look nice with a bald head."
That's a wrap.
Had that hair since.
Ball being tipped around. South Paulding, they've been relentless on the offensive glass. Another opportunity for Travis. Can't get the three to go. Tipped around. That's Gibson who tips it over to Knowledge Rubin. Now it's a 7-point game.
Got a timeout.
Timeout on the floor, so we're going to take that timeout with them. 66-73. Lambert leading by 7 here at the Jared Cook Classic.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam Crenshaw reminding you about the inaugural Hot Spaces Holiday Tip-Off Classic. It comes your way December 21st through 23rd at Norcross High School. Here's what the coaches have to say.
When you put those two names in front of something, it is going to be run first class. The level of competition is going to be very good. Crowds are going to be real good over here. So it's just really exciting for us to be in it and be able to play that first night in it right here. And so, and for me, an opportunity to come back and coach in this facility again is really special.
Welcome back to the 2017 Jared Cook Classic. Lambert picked up a win in last year's JCC here in a position to do the same thing. 51 5/10 of a second remaining, a 7-point lead over South Paulding. Marcus Burnett joined by Sylvester Williams. McElwain to Stoudemire. Stoudemire back to McElwain as Travis will foul.
Wasted too much time right there. See, in my mind, what I'm doing right there, if you don't get the steal, you got a minute left. Go ahead and foul. Go ahead. Lambert hadn't been that impressive from the free throw line, so go ahead and foul him. Foul him quick. I like the old bringing in your goon squad. I don't know if you remember. You get those last 4 or 5 guys on your bench. You let them come out on the inbound. As soon as they get in, like I said, if they don't get the steal, have them foul. Yep. Once they foul, bring your starters back in the game and let them play.
As this is the first game of the season for South Paulding. Meanwhile, Lambert is 2-0 after defeating Noonan and South Atlanta. Armstrong nearly has it stolen away. Now he'll get it to Withers. Baseline drive, and we're going to have a foul there against Granger.
And see, it's a lot of hesitancy on South Paulding's part. You know, right now you can tell Cameron Armstrong, he wants to shoot. He wants to shoot from the outside, but none of the other guards really they feel that comfortable shooting from the outside, so they're looking to get to the lane. But Lambert's doing a good job of cutting off those driving lanes, and so they couldn't get to the lane. They used up a lot of clock on that possession.
And there with Granger, you saw Stoudemire talking to him earlier in the game in terms of how he defends without fouling in certain instances. You know, if you just stick your arms straight up and just stay vertical, don't even leave your feet, then now you force, Gibson. You force Gibson to hit a very tough shot as he has to eat the contact from you and finish over your outstretched arm. He left his feet and kind of, struck down a little bit, and that's what sends him to the line with free throws. But Gibson can't take advantage of the first.
Charity stripe has been not too kind for both of these teams.
Nope, over to McElwain. South Paulding needing the foul. They still haven't done so. Playing keep away. And Stoudemire finally fouled.
Yep, great job of playing keep away, and they took 10 seconds off the clock. They're going to push this thing away. If you can hit your free throws, you can put this game on ice. You know, it's so important to know how to win. You know, it's good enough for you to get up and get you a big score, get you a big lead, but you have to know how to win, how to finish these games. And these free throws are one big part of it.
Stoudemire knocks the first one down. As his pops has had several instances throughout his career, or had several instances throughout his career where he had to go to the line, knock down crucial free throws. Fall away jumper is good there for Jordan Goodrich. So a timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout as well. It's 69-76, 13.2 seconds left. Welcome back to the 2017 Jared Cook Tip-Off Classic. Marcus Burnett joined by Sylvester Williams as Lambert is in victory formation time in terms of just being able to take care of the fundamentals and finish this one out. On the floor for Lambert, McElwain, Stoudemire, Ganote, Braxton Beatty, and Austin Deckard. South Paulding, you got Withers, the Gibsons, Cameron Armstrong, as well as Chandler Travis. You know, you look at Frank Gibson and Shane Gibson. I'm making the assumption that they are brothers. I have to follow up on that, but you know, I look at Gibson and Gibson. They've been a 1-2 punch. They won't come away with the same result as the Gonzalo brothers did as St. Pius defeated Langston Hughes the other day, but when you think of the familial combination, the Gonzalo brothers had a great contest to open up the Jared Cook Tip-Off Classic on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Young man knocked down 6 threes, was totally on fire from the outside.
Catch that full replay on SUV TV. That was St. Pius, a runner-up there at the state championship last year, defeating Langston Hughes, the reigning 5A champion. It's Lambert that gets the victory here on game 1 at day 2 of the Jared Cook Classic by a score of 78-71. The next game up, North Gwinnett versus Tucker. That one will tip off at 5:25 p.m. I'm Marcus Burnett. He's Sylvester Williams. We'll catch you back here for more Jared Cook Classic here on SUV TV.